wondered what makes few people to reach the highest potential while everyone else don't get there? Have you ever wondered what makes some people to become high performers while everyone else don't get there? Have you ever wondered what makes some people to become stars while everyone else don't get there? Have you ever wondered why few people win? Is it that because they are more gifted and talented than others? Is it because they are born to a family that had wealth and background to make them get there? Is it because they had the luck on their side? What is that make them win? Today we are going to talk about how to become a high performer. Today we are going to talk about how to win in life. How many of you want to really win in life? Let me see your hands. How many of you want to really win in life? Others, you can leave the room. Okay, I still remember while I was in school, I was just 12, 13 probably, right? And school organized a marathon. All of us got so excited about it because we got to run on the main road outside the school. How cool is that? Okay, I think the distance was about 5K. And so I was so pumped about running the marathon. I got my outfit sorted first. Note, that's the most important thing to run a marathon. Get your outfit right, especially when you're running on the road. Okay, and I got that right. Okay, that's the only thing I got it right, by the way. And then there was about 150 students who participated in the marathon. As it was an open event, students from all ages participated. The race started, and I gave it all at the beginning. And I was running. I was running as fast as I can. After running for a while, guess what happened? I got cramps in my stomach, and it was rather painful, right? I slowed down, and eventually at some point I just walked since I found it hard to run. I was probably the one who finished the race the last. In fact, when I arrived the finish line, I found others have completed and gone home. Yeah, that's what I found, okay? While I was preparing this message, for some reason, this particular race came into my mind. And I was thinking about it, right? I was actually reflecting on this failure, epic failure in my life, okay? I was just reflecting. Why? Where did I go wrong? Do you know why I failed? Well, you don't, because it's I who failed. It is obvious, the day of the marathon, for the first time I ever ran a marathon. Okay? In fact, that was the first time I've ever ran a 5K. Right? You can't win a race by running for the first time. How many of you know that? Okay? You can't win a marathon or a race by running it for the first time. Right? Do you know that our lives are like running a race? There was a man named Paul who lived in the first century. He lived after Jesus' death and resurrection, right? He was a Jew who didn't believe in Jesus, but had a powerful, encounter with Jesus on a road, and he was completely transformed, and he gave his life to Jesus, and then he became one of the Jesus followers. He wrote 1/3 of the Bible. In fact, the second part of the God's word, which we call the New Testament, he wrote 1/3 of that. He was writing letters to the churches that he had started in the first century. And as he was writing the letters, he wrote a particular letter to a church in Corinth. And in that letter, 1 Corinthians, if you're familiar with the Bible, 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24 to 27, is comparing our life to running a race. And this is what he says. The words are going to come up on the screen. Follow with me. It says, don't you realize, by the way, I have the honor of standing next to Mr. Usain Bolt, okay? Isn't that great? Okay. Don't you realize that in a race everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So run to win. All the athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away. But we do it for an eternal prize. Move on. So I run with purpose in every step. I'm not just shadow boxing. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified. Now, this guy is telling a lot of stuff, but let's unpack what he's telling to us. Paul is basically asking from you guys, if Paul is going to be here today, this is what he would say, right? Hey people, do you realize that even though so many run in a race, that there is only one winner? Duh. We all know that, right? Even though there are so many people are running, there is only one person who can win the prize, right? I believe it's a duh question, right? But what is he trying to get at? He's trying to get something. Right? He's trying to tell us something. So what is he trying to tell us? I believe he's saying every athlete has to work hard regardless of result. Are you getting what I'm saying? Every athlete has to train regardless of the result. Right? Whether you win or lose, you need to prepare. That's what he's trying to tell us. Right? Do you know that when you are selected for Olympics back in times, ancient Greek times, that you need to give an oath on a bow meet? By the way, it's awkward. Thank God it doesn't happen anymore. You have to give an oath on a bow meet that you are going to train for 10 months. Right? It's probably in the 5th to 8th century. This is the practice. Right? And that not only just you're going to train 10 months, but you will remain 30 days under the officials in Elis who are in charge of the games and take an oath that you had fulfilled all the training requirements before you really participate on the event. And back in those days, they had only running races in Olympics. That's it, right? So every person who participates has to go through some training. Right? They have to go through training. And that's part and parcel of running the Olympics back in time. And Paul is telling us today that we should have such an attitude towards our life. No matter what you're going to win, no matter what is the outcome is going to be, but we need to have an attitude of an athletic that, where we train ourselves no matter what the result is. And we should have a goal, like, for a runner, the goal is obviously the finishing line, right? So we should have a goal, for life. I'm sure that Usain Bolt, right? 9.8 seconds, 100 meters, and his speed that he runs at 43 kilometers per hour. If you don't understand that, what the speed speed limit, let me explain. I cycle, okay? Now, I'm not a very good cycler, but I cycle, right? My maximum speed cycling at the moment is 30 kilometers per hour, okay? On a good day. And this guy runs at 43 kilometers per hour. So you can imagine the speed that he runs at. Right? But I believe that, he didn't wake up one day and decided, I'm going to run. And I'm going to run at 9.8 seconds. And I'm going to be the winner. And I'm going to beat the entire world. I'm sure that he took time to every day to train himself to become like, who he is today. And first thing that he needs to do when he's training, he needs to beat himself. He needs to beat his own record every day. 9.8 seconds didn't come overnight. It would have been so many days that he trained hard to bring down that, seconds. It could have been even just half a second, but it matters to him. He works hard every day that I need to bring this timing down so that I can become the fastest in the world. There's a lot of training that he would have gone through to become who he is. In this passage, if you look at Paul also gives another image. Let's go back to the next, verse 26. So I run with purpose in every step. I am not just shadow boxing. Shadow boxing, what shadow boxing is all about? It's about, a boxer comes in and he just, does his moves. But he's just beating the air. Right? He's just beating the air. Right? He says a boxer doesn't shadow box, because when you shadow box, you use the same amount of energy that you will use on your enemy, but you gain nothing because you are just beating the air. You should be like a boxer who is focused on the opponent. Right? They say a boxer generally focuses on his opponents, especially the vulnerable area. And they say the vulnerable area of a boxer is the chin. So they just want to get at the chin. Right? That's where they focus. Right? And every shot that goes out of their body, they know their strength is going out of their body. So they want to get maximum out of every blow. They're not going to waste. Right? So Paul is saying, I'm not shadow boxing. I'm not beating the air. But I have a purpose in life. And everything what I do is effective, and I'm reaching my purpose. I'm not going to just waste my energy by shadow boxing. That's what he's saying. Right? We need to have a goal in life. If you don't have a goal, you are basically shadow boxing with your life. That's what you're doing right now. The next question that comes to our mind should be that, what makes an athlete win? What makes an athlete win? What gives one the competitive edge over the other? Do you know what? Do you know what, guys? Like I said about Usain Bolt. It's nothing but training. Nothing but the training. You remember my story of running the marathon, right? It was an epic failure, right? Because I didn't train myself. Right? You can't win race by running for the first time. There is no way you can win a race by running for the first time. To win, it takes a lot of training. And training requires discipline. Training requires discipline. The key to winning is then what? Tell me. What is key to winning? What is key to winning? That's right, discipline. You will not train unless you are disciplined enough to train yourself. So key to win is discipline. Right? Shawn Johnson was just 16 years of age when she got her first Olympic medal. In fact, she won 2 Olympic medals together. First a silver and then a gold. Okay? I want you to watch this clip of Shawn Johnson before I speak about her. My son thinks he can do a better job than me and he wants to speak. What do you all think? Like I said, Shawn Johnson was only 16 years of age when she won her first Olympic medal for gymnastics in 2008 in China, Beijing. She won a silver and a gold medal for 2 individual events. She started gymnastics when she was 3. In a typical week of her life, after attending a full day of school, she would train for 4 hours. And on a Saturday, she trained for 5 hours. On Sunday was a rest day. She also followed a strict diet plan. Only protein and fruits. No sweets, no chocolates, girls. Cupcakes, no way. Cheese kottu, guys, gone out of the windows. Pizzas, no chance. Burgers, no. Coke, you can't even get close to her with a Coke. If you need to win, you need discipline. If you need to win, you need discipline. No pain, no gain. Right? That brings me to our thought for the day. Are you ready to hear the thought for the day? Okay, this thought is something that if you can just take a grab of this thought, it will help you for life. Okay? So I'm just asking you to just, use everything what you have to take this thought into your mind. It's not hard, by the way. Okay, let's have the thought on screen. It's very simple. Winning requires discipline and not desire. Winning requires discipline and not desire. Winning requires discipline and not desire. Let me explain this to you. Anyone can desire to win, okay? But only those who are willing to discipline themselves eventually win. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Yeah. There's a big difference between the desire to win and a discipline to win. The question is, how desperate are you to win? Last week I read a quote on Facebook, just captured this thought perfectly. So I thought I'm going to read the quote out to you. It doesn't matter who wants the flatter stomach. Don't look at me. What matters is who wants to put in the work, endure the diet and exercise, and fight off the urge to give up. These people matter because they are the ones who will bring those dreams to life. If you're not willing to do what's necessary, then maybe we can be a bit more honest with ourselves about how badly we really want it. Does that make sense? Yeah? Let's look at the verse again from verse 24. Okay? Don't you realize that in a race everyone runs but only one person gets the prize? So run to win. Verse 25. Guys, let's read this with me. All athletes are disciplined in their training. All athletes are disciplined in their training. I want you to read verse 27. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Like I said, your body right now can't do a lot of things that you want to do. But it's the training. It's the discipline to train yourself. Like I said, Usain Bolt never got up one day morning where he can run at 9.8 seconds, complete 100 meters. No, his body couldn't do that. But he has to bring his body under subjection of a lot of training and hardship so that his body will become flexible enough, fast enough to achieve the 9.8 second. Guys, I don't know whether you're getting what I'm trying to say. This evening, the most important thing to understand is that we need discipline. We need discipline. If you want to win in life, the most important thing is discipline. Nothing else. Discipline is so key. Right? And in both the verses that you see, it talks about discipline. All athletes are disciplined in their training. I discipline my body like an athlete. We need discipline. That's what we need. So we all agree the secret to win is discipline, right? Am I convinced you enough? Yeah? Okay, let's move on. So what is discipline then? What is discipline? There are so many definitions out there for discipline, but I found the shortest and the easiest definition that was given by one of the greatest leaders I always look up to, and also I read his books. His name is Bill Hybels, and he says this. Simple definition, but it makes a lot of sense. Doing the right thing regardless of how you feel in the moment. Doing the right thing regardless of how you feel in the moment. I thought this is a good slogan for the night. Just do it. Right? So, doing the right thing regardless of how you feel in the moment. And I would say, just do it. Just do it. Right? Doing the right thing regardless of how you feel in the moment is what discipline is all about. Most of our life is governed by how we feel. Can I see some hands? Am I making sense? Right? Yeah, that's true. Okay. If I feel like doing something, then I will do it. If I don't feel like doing something, then I don't do it. Simple as that. Let's take an example from a day-to-day life. Let's take an example. Let's talk about study. And I don't want shoes coming on me, but yeah, let's talk about studying for a moment. Okay, how many of you have consistent schedule every day that you have blocked for your studies? Don't raise your hands because I'm not done with it. With my questioning, okay? You might have a consistent time that you have blocked. Probably it's 6 to 8 in the night or 5 to 7 in the evening. I don't know. But you have blocked a time. Good for you. But like I said, don't be quick to raise your hands, because how many of you stick to that schedule regardless of how you feel on that day? Yeah, one hand going up. Okay, right? That's what it matters end of the day. That's what it matters, okay? Like I said, it doesn't matter what you are trying to become better at. If you only do work when you are motivated, then you will never be consistent enough to become good at it, right? The ability to show up every day, stick to the schedule, and to do work, especially when you don't feel like it, is so valuable. And that is literally all you need to become 99% better at whatever you're doing. Hope I'm getting through this evening. Fact of the matter is that most of the time we are inconsistent. Right? We have goals that we would like to achieve and dreams that we would like to fulfill, but we only work toward them occasionally. When we feel inspired or motivated, or when life allows us, we do so. It is always easier that way. But you're not going to get your dreams, you're not going to get your desires. I guarantee that if you set a schedule for any task and start sticking to it, there will be days that obviously you're not going to feel like, doing it. You feel like quitting. Very especially, for example, when you start a sport, right? There will be days you don't feel like showing up for practices. When you're at the gym, there will be sets that you don't feel like finishing. When you're cycling, you don't feel like sometimes doing 3 times a week. I'm talking to myself. When it's time to study, there'll be subjects that you don't feel like studying. But stepping up, when it's annoying, painful, or draining to do so, that's what makes you a winner. That's what makes you a winner. Stepping up at the time that you feel like not doing it. That's what makes you a winner. Winners always stick to the schedule. Average people let life get in the way. Winners know what is important to them and work towards it with purpose. Average person get pulled off course. Average person pulled off course by the urgencies of life. Who is running your life? Is it you or someone else? Most of the time when you're a young person, your life is run by other people. You get a call at 5 o'clock in the evening and your friend tells you that they're going to hang out at a particular place, and you give up everything that you are supposed to do because you have a schedule, but you give up everything and you just go out of your house and you forget everything, and 10 o'clock in the night you realize that, the day is gone. Your life is run by, most of the time, your life is run by others. When I finished my ALs, my parents couldn't afford to pay me for higher educations. I started my first job just after 4 days of finishing my A-levels. Right? I got into a sales job. Then I decided I will somehow do my higher education. I will somehow do a professional exam. So I registered myself to study the Chartered Institute of Marketing UK course. Since I was working, I decided I would do only 2 subjects per term, right? And I blocked my Saturday, the whole Saturday for my studies. Hey guys, it took 5 years for me to complete my marketing education. But I'm so proud and I'm so glad, just because I had a schedule. I blocked a Saturday every week, and I would stick to it for 5 years to see this dream coming true. Okay? I failed 8 times in one particular paper, 8 times. But I never quit. I never quit. That's what it takes to make it in life. That's what it takes to make it in life. Okay? If you want to win in any area of your life, you got to follow basically 3 steps that I'm going to just now tell you. So if you have your smartphone, it's time to pull it out and put down these 3 steps. If you don't have your smartphone, just go back to the best way, get a paper, pen, and write it down if you want to. Right? The 3 steps goes like this. It's very simple. Decide what area of your life you want to see you win in this season of your life. Right now, in this season of your life, what area that you want to win? Decide first what area that you want to win in this season of life. What I mean by that is basically there are seasons. Like, some of you are doing your exam this year. So in this season for you, the most important thing is your studies. Some of you have completed your exams. You might want to, excel in your leadership skills. So that is your focus. Some of you right now probably grade 8, grade 9, you might want to explore learning some music or playing an instrument. But whatever that area that you want to win, first decide in this time, in this particular season, what is the area that you need to win. Write down the area first, whatever that area is. Okay? Then the second thing is this: select a schedule for your action. Select a schedule for your action. Don't just say, I want to become better playing piano, for example. Don't just say that I want to become better at it, right? But get down to the details and put down every day evening 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. I'm going to practice playing the piano, right? And then every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'm going to just sit and watch professionals playing through YouTube. I'm going to just find sites and I'm going to just watch these, all the professionals, how they play the piano, so that I will aspire to become one of them. I will aspire to, have those qualities in me so I can do better, right? Now that's scheduling basically. Right? You have put Monday to Friday what you're going to do. You have put Saturday what you're going to do, so that you have a plan. Now, after putting the plan down, you need to do this. You need to stick to your schedule for 21 days without breaking it. Now, there is no magic about 21 days. Okay? There's no magic about it. But if you do something without giving a break for 21 days, extended time period, it becomes a habit in your life. They say you can make or break a habit in 21 days. If you do something 21 days continuously, it becomes part of your life. If you stop doing certain things that you want to get out of for 21 days, it will be out of your life. Right? So 21 days, will you stick to that schedule that you have put down? And that will help you. That will help you to see a breakthrough in your life. Okay? So, doing the right thing, regardless of how you feel it in the moment, is what it takes for you to win in life. Doing the right thing, regardless of how you feel it in the moment, is what it takes for you to make it in life, to become a winner in life, to become a high performer in life. Okay? Now, everything what I said up to now, no matter what religious background you are coming from this evening, it is applicable to you. And you can do it. Right? But what I'm going to say right now is very important, because I believe for us to do this, for us to discipline ourselves, we need power. We need power. Right? And the power that we need is not in us. If that power is in me, I would have already overcome my weaknesses. And I would have already overcome this problem of discipline. But I don't have the power to overcome my discipline. So I need to look elsewhere for that power. And I'm going to take you to one more verse written by the same man called Paul. And he says in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 19 and 20, this is what he says. I also pray that you will understand the incredible greatness of God's power for us who believe Him. Incredible greatness of God's power for us who believe Him. This is the same mighty power that raised Christ from the dead and seated Him in the place of honor at God's right hand in the heavenly realms. Now, guys, if you don't know about Jesus, that's fine. But you see, there is a man who has died at some point, and he's been rose back to life. And that power that rose him back to life is available for those who believe in Jesus. That's what he's saying. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say this evening. If there is a power that can raise someone from death, right? I'm sure that power can help you to discipline your life. Are you getting what I'm saying? If there is power to raise someone from death, that power is more than able to help you to discipline yourself. Now, most of you in this place, you believe in Christ, and you are still struggling, and you are still not able to win your life. And you're wondering, I have believed in Christ, but how come then I'm not still experiencing the power that I need to overcome my life? We have a God who came down to this earth, and He related to you and me by becoming a man. And He was able to understand our weaknesses because He lived on earth. He had all the struggles that you're going through in your life. He had faced it already. And He knows how to overcome them. Guys and girls, listen to me. It's time to tap into this power. It's time to realize this power is available for us. Someone can give something very, expensive to our hands. But if you don't understand the value of it, you're not going to use it. Now, my son, uses an iPad, right? And the results of my son using the iPad is this. If you can get closer look, you will see the screen is being smashed in all directions, right? Because he don't understand the value of this, right? But I understand the value because I know what this iPad can do, right? And sometimes that we are like, Avishan, who has given this powerful thing in his hand, but he is not still realizing how much powerful that what is been given to him and what he has in his hands. And if that's where you are today, I want to pray with you. I want to pray that you will understand the power of God that is in you already, right? And so that you will be able to use that power to overcome these areas, very especially to overcome the area of discipline so that you can win in life. But there are some here that you have never heard this name Jesus before. You have never, you don't have a relationship with Him. And you're wondering, if I want to have this power in my life, what should I do? I want to tell you what you should do. It's very simple. In fact, that's why this message is called the good news. Because I have a good news for you today. I want to give you a very good news that you can tap into that power no matter what religious background that you are coming from. This particular God that I'm talking about is the God who created you. He created you in His own image. In fact, He is so personal that He breathed into you when He created you. And He was so pleased with His creation. And He so much loved how He created you. But you know what? There was a time that we all have turned our back to God. And we moved out of God's presence. We moved out and said that we can look after our lives. We don't need a God. And we moved away. We became rebellious to God. And today the world is in this state because of our rebelliousness. Because of we have turned our back to God. And all of us have done that. All of us have done that. There is not a single person who has not turned his back on God. Right? And so God was so mad at us for doing this. Imagine, after creating us so beautifully, after creating us in His own image, we turn back on Him. How will the Father feel? He was so mad at us. This only thing that we deserve is wrath, punishment. Right? And for that punishment, what He did was, He sent His only Son to come to this world in our image, like a man, and that was Jesus, who came down to this earth 2,000 years ago. And He poured His wrath. Father poured all the wrath, all the anger that you and I deserve upon Jesus. He was bruised, He was crushed, He was nailed to the cross. That's because of your rebelliousness and my rebelliousness. And then He bled and died. Third day He rose again. So that He proved He is not just a human being, He is God. So he rose again. So now, the good news is this. What God is saying, for your rebelliousness, you don't have to pay anymore. You don't have to pay anymore. All you have to do is believe in what my Son has done. He has paid it for you. So if you believe that, I can accept you as you are. I can make available all the power that is in heaven to back you up to live the life that you want to live. Not only that, one day that you will live with me forever, forever, forever. And this particular God, I'm going to ask the band to come up. I'm going to ask Mevan to come up as he comes in. This particular God is in this place today. I don't know where you are. You might be a Christian. You might know Jesus. You might have a relationship with God, but you have a defeated life right now. And you are telling, Naresh, I want you to pray for me this evening. I want you to help me to tap into the power that you talked about in Ephesians 1:19. That's part of the play, okay? So the Ephesians 1:19, I want to tap into that power, right? I want to tap into that. So we would love to pray with you. But you might say that, I have never heard about Jesus in my whole life. What you just said, I would like to accept that He has paid for me. He has died for me. And, I believe in Jesus. If you believe, today that you can receive the same power that all of us else also experience in this place. And you can also, you will be able to live that disciplined life. The key is this, guys. Let's go back to the verse quickly. One more time. Paul is saying all these things. Go back to, Go back to Corinthian passage. Yeah. Paul is saying all these things about, what is interesting is this. He's saying, in 25, all athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away. All the prizes that we win on this earth will fade away. In fact, I have gone to houses where they have cabinets full of cups and medals. They're all, faded. Because, probably someone in that house when they were young, they got all the stuff, but they're all faded. But Paul is saying, but we do it, we means Christ followers, the believers of Christ, we do it for an eternal prize. That means we are, training and disciplining our body for an eternal, what is the eternal prize he's talking about? Forever, that you and I are going to live with Christ. You and I are going to live in Christ. We all believe, no matter what religious background you are coming from, we all believe that there is life more than we live on this earth, right? Okay? And he's telling, when you actually follow Christ, discipline your body and come under, that you will be able to experience a gift that will last forever. And that is this eternal life. You will live with Him forever. And this evening, I believe that help is available for us.